Hi, Max Brantley from the Arkansas Times on Wednesday, March the 22nd. Let's start with guns. Guns are very popular in Arkansas, certainly at the Arkansas legislature. This morning, Governor Asa Hutchinson signed the bill that began as a campus carry bill to allow staff members at universities to have concealed weapons on campus. It grew into something much larger, and he pronounced it good this morning and brought in the director of the NRA to say just how good it was, and a number of other gun-favoring legislators, too. They said that this could prevent future mass shootings on college campuses. We haven't had any in Arkansas yet, and this will really deter them, Representative Charlie Collins said. The governor called this a compromise bill. The only compromise is that it was made even more gun-friendly to satisfy the NRA. All the polls show the majority of people didn't want this bill. Colleges were unanimously opposed to it, but we have it now, and it's not just a college campus carry bill now. Anybody with a concealed permit who gets an additional 8 hours of training can take a gun in concealment anywhere, to college, to a football game, to Razorback Stadium, to a courthouse, to the state capitol, to the governor's conference room. He said today that he'd have greater security with more people with good training and concealed weapons in his conference room. Well, there you go. It seems like a lot of scared people out there. Elsewhere today in the Arkansas legislature, schools are much on the minds of the legislature, mostly about doing damage to the public school system in our state, at least in the conventional sense. There's tremendous opposition to bills to require more accountability and transparency for all schools that receive public money, both charter schools and private schools, and not just the public school districts. There was an effort to level the playing field somewhat with charter schools. And a bill last night before an education committee, Clark Tucker tried to get approval for a bill that would say there'd be a moratorium on new charter schools in a school district that's been put in academic, physical, or facility distress. It seems unfair to leach still more students out of these districts at the time they're struggling. But Johnny Key, the state education director, went to the meeting and said he is against this legislation. Sam Ledbetter, who voted for the state takeover of the school district as a state education board member, said his faith had been broken. He didn't believe the state would come and allow doubling the size of charter schools in Little Rock after the takeover. He thought the state was going to work to make Little Rock better. It's done anything but. Johnny Key, who doesn't take questions from the public, wants $500 million more taxes from Little Rock School District taxpayers. He really owes us an answer on whether he really intends to get those schools fixed up to turn over to charter schools, or if he really cares about the Little Rock School District. Last night, it certainly didn't seem that he did. Education kind of figures in other issues as well, and about the image of our state and whether we're a good place for people to live. Today, the legislature is going to hammer the workers' compensation law some more and further remove benefits for injured workers, capping total disability payments and doing other things that'll harm working people. This is interesting to me because we learned today that Walmart, which is headquartered in Bentonville, is opening up a new venture to develop technology in the retail sector. Now, you'd think with all the giveaways we give to business in Arkansas in so many ways that you'd want to locate a new business in Arkansas, wouldn't you? Well, no, they went to Silicon Valley in California despite its high tax rate. That might say something about the quality of people you find there and what place is really better to do business. We can certainly punish workers here and chisel them out of money, but does that make for a better workforce? Maybe not. Another thing on the state front that's not great for our image, I think, we're going to kill 8 people on death row in 10 days next month. The Governor Asa Hutchinson's in a hurry before we run out of a bad drug to get the job done. The director of the state correction department said yesterday at the Rotary Club that we don't have enough witnesses. You have to have at least 6 citizen witnesses of every execution. That means 48 witnesses for the 8. Guess what? A lot of people just aren't really thirsty, even though they support the death penalty. We just as soon not see somebody killed. I think the appropriate solution for this, of course, is to have 48 legislators who voted for the death penalty to all sign up to be witnesses and see carried out what they think the state needs as a matter of public policy. Seems fair to me. Interesting FOI request result today. We reported earlier, I think, that the police chief of Little Rock, Kenton Buckner, didn't get a ticket after he rear-ended somebody on 3rd Street recently. Turns out he'd had another wreck last year, didn't get a ticket in that one either. It was pretty minor parking lot scrape, I have to say. But in responding to a FOI request from a blogger named Russ Raycop, the city police revealed that, well, he didn't get a ticket because it's policy. Little Rock cops don't give tickets to other Little Rock cops. So there you go. That's your answer. So no need to worry about that unfairness in the future. That's just the way it always is, no matter what the circumstances are. And finally, here's a small piece of good news. Remember the Little Rock Film Festival? Well, it died, but there's going to be a new film festival. It'll be called the Arkansas Cinema Society, and the leading force behind it is Jeff Nichols, Little Rock native and famous movie writer-director who did Loving, which had great acclaim within the last year. It's going to be a year-round event with screenings and seminars and all kinds of programs. It's going to be based in the downtown Little Rock Library, and Catherine Tucker, who's a movie producer, director herself, is going to be running the operation. So if it turns out like the Austin Film Festival has turned out, a big event that goes year-round, it could be a good thing for Little Rock. Certainly happier talking some of the other things in town today. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow. Resist.